because I thought they were going to see this ugly, disgusting monster that the internet told me I was. And that's when I realized this. Listen. Cyberbullying is dangerous. Cyberbullying is dangerous for a few reasons. The first reason is that the sender doesn't have to see the receiver. Those people didn't have to see my face when they sent me those things. They didn't have to look me in the eye and tell me how worthless I was. They could hide behind a computer screen, they could hide behind their cell phone, and the thing is with the internet, is that you get this confidence, because you're all alone, this confidence to say anything you want. And those people did. Cyberbullying is dangerous because the sender doesn't have to see the receiver. Cyberbullying is also dangerous because you don't know when you're pushing someone too far. Those people had no idea the toll it was taking on my life. They had no idea. Often, the person who's being bullied the most and taking it the hardest is the pretty girl and the cool guy, or the shy girl and the shy guy who maybe you didn't even notice were there. Often the people who are taking it the hardest are the people who are isolating themselves. Isolation means that even in the most crowded room, you feel all alone. Even in the most crowded room, you feel completely by yourself. Often, the person being bullied, especially online, is too afraid to speak up. I remember I was too embarrassed because I thought if I pointed it out, people were going to see me for what they said I was. Cyberbullying is dangerous because you don't know when you're pushing someone too far. At this point, I always tell a story about 13 and 14-year-old girls who are bullying another 13-year-old online. And they bullied her for so long that she ended up taking her own life. Now the reason I tell you this story leads into my next point, which is that cyberbullying is not only dangerous for the person receiving the messages, but the cyberbullying is also dangerous for the person sending it. The reason I share this story is because those people deleted everything they said, of course. They deleted it and they thought it would go away. First of all, when you cyberbully someone to the point where they take their own life, you can't just delete that. They thought they could delete those comments and it would go away. But the police can recover everything that has ever been put online. And the police did recover what they said. And because of the outcome of their bullying, they're spending time in jail. Now I bet if you asked them if they thought that was what was going to happen from their words, they would probably tell you no. And I bet if you asked them if they would take it back, if they could, they would say yes. And that's why I say cyberbullying is dangerous. Because you have the power to say anything that you want, and often it gets taken a little bit too far. And because you don't know when you're pushing someone too far, because people are afraid to speak up, that could happen to anybody. Now, I don't just want to scare you guys out of bullying. That's not my job. I don't want to leave you feeling bad. I want to leave you with this. You are all equally able. You are all able to be brave, able to be smart, able to be kind, able to be brilliant, able to be beautiful. You are all equally capable. Do you guys hear me? Every single one of you has been given the same tools to be smart when you say something. Every single one of you has been given the same tools to be kind when you see someone being bullied. Every single one of you has been given the same tools to stand up not only for others, but for yourself over and over and over, as many times as it takes. You are all equally capable. Do you guys hear me over here? So I leave you with this. If any of you in this room related to my story when I said I felt isolated, if any of you in this room related to that girl who would lay alone, obsessed with what everyone else thought of her, if any of you have ever thought about giving up on who you are because someone told you to, I want to leave you with this. That girl who used to lay alone in her room, obsessed with what people thought of her, is also this girl who's standing before you, living out her dreams, doing everything that people said she couldn't do. Do you guys hear me? So chase after your dreams and always follow your heart and always stick up for each other. Thank you guys so much for having us. I have one request of you. If you could follow me on Instagram, @TrueOfficial. That would be pretty awesome. And lastly, I share my story with you. I want to hear your story. #tell your story on Instagram. Tag me in it. I want to read it. I want to repost it. I want to share your story too. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. Give yourselves a huge round of applause.